Our next song is First Step. Now this song is teaching us a vocabulary word, duration. So duration. Now as far as music goes, we're talking about how long notes are held out for. So we have the whole note at the very top, which is going to be held out for 4 counts. So you're going to have to move your bow slow so you will count or tap 4, okay, for that. The half note, you're going to move your bow so that the sound will last for 2 beats. The quarter note, you're going to move your bow so as long as you could say 1 and. Now the 8th note makes a short sound that only lasts half of a count. We learned that on the song Miss Mary Mac. Okay, so if a quarter note gets 1 count, how many 8th notes will it take to make 1 quarter? So here's the quarter. This gets 1 count. We learned this on Miss Mary Mac. How many 8th notes will it take to add up to 1 quarter? Yes, Hannah.
2.
It's going to take 2 8th notes because we learned on Miss Mary Mac that is 1, and then this 8th note is going to be the and. So that's why we have quarter notes counted 1 and. Okay? All right. Now, if you look right in your music, there is this rhythm pattern right here, which is a syncopated rhythm pattern. What does syncopation mean? Okay. Up until this time, we've just been playing steady beats, steady rhythms, quarters, ta, 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 or 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and, all right? But now we have a mixture of short and long sounds all into one pattern. So we have something called syncopation. All right, so I'm going to read above this. You could follow me while I read. It says here, this rhythm will demonstrate how short 1/8 note sounds. So up until now, we've only played 8th notes in groups of 2, or on Old MacDonald, we learned 8th notes grouped in 4s, and London Bridge, and also This Old Man. We worked with 8th notes grouped in 4, 8th notes grouped in 2, but now we are talking about how short 1/8 note, that sound, is going to last for. So while you point to the notes, say the different ways to count this pattern. Now, can you explain why the 8th note will sound shorter than the quarter note? Clue. The quarter note is counted with a symbol and a number, and the 8th note is counted with just one or the other. For example, I have, well, let's just, right now, I'm going to get rid of that. But this quarter note here could be counted with, it has to get a number and a syllable and. It has to get a number and a syllable, okay? So it could be 1 and, or it could be and 1, or it could be counted 2 and, or it could be counted and 2, or 3 and 3, or 4 and 4. Regardless, it has to have a number and a syllable, okay? Now the 8th note is just one or the other, okay? It will get 2 or an and, or a 3 or an and, or 4 or an and, or the and could be in front of the 2. It doesn't matter, okay? All right, so I want you to memorize that. Now help me write the correct beats underneath this rhythm pattern. I'll put the other 8th note up here. So what will I write underneath, what number will I write underneath that first note? Yes, Jessica?
1.
Okay, now will I write an and next to it?
No.
No, because an 8th note is counted with just one or the other. Okay, now every number has to have an and. So where's the, so what's going to go underneath this one? Hannah?
And 2.
Excellent, and 2. What's going to go underneath that one, Connor?
And.
Just an and. Are we happy with that? Just an and? Okay, because an eighth note is just one or the other. What are we going to put underneath that one? Ryan?
3 and
Excellent. 3 and. And then Jennifer?
4 and.
Excellent. Okay, now how are we going to count this? So just say the numbers with me. Here we go. So I just want 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's try. So this is going to be, let me, okay, this is going to be a short sound. This is going to be longer. This is going to be short. This is going to be longer. And that's going to be longer. Okay? All right. So say it with me. Just count the numbers with me. 1, 2, ready and go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Yes. Now, you probably did this when you were in general music classes. Eighth notes were T's and the quarter notes were Ta's. Let's try to count it that way. 1, 2, ready and go. Tee-ta, tee-ta, ta, tee-ta, tee-ta, ta. Now we have a silly rhythm word that we use sometimes. It's rotten bananas. Let's try that. Ready, go. Rotten bananas, rotten bananas. Yes. Now, in this song, first step, every time you play this pattern, it's going to be on your open A string. Okay, so now, so what you see here in your music, the first 2 lines is, the first 4 measures is going to be like an introduction. D, A, D, A. So each section starts off with that introduction. Then the actual song starts right after that measure, the melody of the song. So the first 2 lines, we're going to do the melody, the intro and the melody in whole notes. And then at measure 15, we've got the introduction in whole notes again, followed by the melody now divided into 2 half notes. We're going to play the melody in half notes. And then in measure 29, we have the whole notes again and the melody divided again. So when we have the melody in whole notes, and then we play the melody now in half notes, we divide it, and then we divide it again, and now we have the melody in quarter notes. This process of taking away value is called diminution. This is a big word, diminution. This is a big word that I didn't really learn till I was in college. Okay, so the music's going to sound actually faster as you divide the notes. Okay, subdivide it. Well, let's go ahead and try this fun song. You'll notice that there are dynamic markings now in your music, and we have a page devoted to that. And then at the very last line there, we have 2 repeat signs looking at each other. Those 4 measures are repeated before you end. And you'll see the decrescendo. So you're going to gradually get softer. Okay? So here we go. Let's try first step. Everybody, instruments ready in playing position. Whole notes. Here we go. All right. Ready? I forgot to tell you that we wanted to keep our bows in perfect sync. So we wanted to go down together, up together, and you did. You stayed in perfect sync. That I forgot to mention that to you. That was very good. Okay, very good.